In 1307, soldiers across France moved before dawn, acting on sealed orders from the king himself. By sunrise, hundreds of knights from the same order had been arrested in a single coordinated sweep. Within 7 years, their leader would be burned at the stake, their order dissolved by the Pope, and their name would go on to fuel conspiracy theories for the next 700 years. That order was the Knights Templar, and almost everyone has heard some version of their story, but here's what most retellings leave out. The Templars were not the first knights to swear themselves to a religious order instead of a king. Another group beat them to it by years and outlived them by centuries. And when the Templars finally fell, it wasn't a stranger who picked up the pieces of their empire. It was their oldest rival. This is the story of two orders that history keeps collapsing into one. Before the First Crusade ever reached the walls of Jerusalem, there was already a hospital operating inside the city, treating sick and injured Christian pilgrims, run with the permission of the city's Muslim rulers. This was not a military operation. It had no weapons, no soldiers, no mission beyond care. In 1113, years before anyone had heard of the Templars, the Pope formally recognized this hospital's caretakers as their own religious order, the Knights Hospitaller. The Templars didn't exist yet. When they finally formed around 1119, it was as a much smaller operation, 9 men under a knight named Hugues de Payens, with one narrow job: escort pilgrims safely along roads that had become genuinely dangerous. So, the order everyone remembers as first, biggest, and most mysterious was, in the beginning, neither first, nor big, nor especially mysterious at all. Here is where the story stops, looking like a simple case of who came first, and starts getting stranger. The Templars were built for one purpose: fight. Their entire structure was modeled on strict Benedictine monastic discipline, poverty, obedience, and combat, with almost nothing softening the edges. The Hospitallers never fully let go of their original job, even after they started arming themselves. They ran hospitals and fielded knights, sometimes within the same walls, treating the wounded by day and standing guard by night. Their military branch only grew because an unarmed hospital in a war zone was not a survivable plan. You could tell them apart from across a battlefield. The Templars, a stark white surcoat, a bold red cross. The Hospitallers, originally a black robe with a white 8-pointed cross, the same symbol you'd recognize today as the flag of Malta. Two very different answers to the same impossible question. How do you protect people in a land that keeps trying to kill them? You'd expect two orders fighting the same wars for the same cause to be close allies. They were not. Historical accounts describe real, documented hostility between the Templars and Hospitallers, not polite rivalry, but active resentment. They competed for land grants from European nobility. They competed for new recruits. They competed for influence with kings and with the Pope himself. And when the Crusader states began collapsing city by city, both orders retreated to the same final stronghold, the city of Acre, forced into close quarters with the rival they'd been competing against for nearly 2 centuries. It did not improve relations. By 1307, the Templars had become dangerously wealthy, wealthy enough that King Philip IV of France, deeply in their debt, had a very convenient motive to see them destroyed. He had them arrested on charges of heresy that most historians today consider largely fabricated. The order was formally dissolved in 1312. Their last Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burned at the stake in 1314. The Hospitallers did not share that fate. They relocated to the island of Rhodes, then later to Malta, continuing on as a military and charitable order for centuries. In some form, they still exist today, making them one of the longest continuously operating institutions in the world. And when the Templars' vast network of land and wealth was broken apart, a significant share of it was handed to the Hospitallers. The order everyone forgets came first, didn't just outlive its more famous rival, it absorbed it. Two orders, born from the same crisis, wearing two different crosses, ending in two completely different fates. And yet, 700 years later, popular memory only kept room for one of them. There's still a third order we haven't touched, one that wasn't founded in Jerusalem at all, but in a war against fellow Christians, in the frozen forests of the Baltic. That's a story for next time.